Hello and welcome to my craft room. It's Rhoda. Today I'm going to do another of Caroline's Craft Tree challenges. This is week 5. It had an old photo, a quote, some music, and transportation. That's my wings, and a zigzag. And I've got that all planned out, and I've cut me a piece here that's going to be my back. I've got this that's on cardstock. It was just sitting over there. I've been waiting to do something with it. This is my great-grandmother, Mary Elizabeth Mills, who married 2 Salmons. They were both first cousins. Or they were first cousins to each other. I think that's how you say it. This was her first baby, Lafayette Salmons. And he was born in 1874. Now, Lafayette's dad, Cart, he wasn't worth much. So she had 3 children with him and then divorced him and married his cousin, who was Fred Salmons. And that's where my grandma, Rhoda, come from, where I got my name. So anyhow, we're going to take this, and the zigzag part was getting me until I thought, pink and shears. I am going to take my pink and shears and go around the outside of this, and give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got her cut out. That's a way of getting around a zigzag, isn't it? And I've taken my paper here that's going to be the back of my tag, where you can write on it, or the large journal card, because it's going to stay square. And I've inked around the outside with ground espresso. Now what I'm going to do is glue her down onto here. And I wanted to get a little mixed media here. I wanted to use some clear gesso and seal this whole thing. I've got it right here. And I wanted to see if I could do some distress crayons on it. So let's get to decorating this, because this all needs to be on here before I can do anything else with it. Now the wings, which is my transportation part of this, is the Transparent Wings by Tim Holtz. I love these little things. And when I saw this challenge, I thought, oh, perfect. I needed a big, large journal card for my fairy journal. So it turned out just right. Okay, I'm hoping that this is going to be waterproof enough. I guess because it's going to be a little wet. I mean, it's going to have gesso on it, but then I'm going to heat dry it right afterwards. So I hope it'll be all right. We're going to hope it's going to be all right. All right, let me see if I can get this on here. Now, Grandma, she was born, when was Grandma born? Let me look at that. My grandma was born in 1892, but her mother was born in 1853. Now, she was still alive, and my dad knew her. Dad's born in 35. So Dad actually knew his called her Ma'am. That was his grandmother. So she used to smoke a little pipe. She had her own room and everything. She mostly sat by the fireplace. All the kids would come up and play, you know. And just kind of kept to herself. But her oldest daughter, well, not her oldest, is actually the oldest girl by my grandmother's dad. Let's put it like that. She married the local picture taker. Now, this picture's not taken by him because, you know, this is way before his time. But he was the local picture taker, and we have so many photos, especially since our family came over from West Virginia in 1930, and he was still over there and would send stuff to us. And over there, they lost photos in a fire, a flood, in the move. I mean, it was all kinds of situations where they just don't have any photos, especially old photos of the family. It's kind of sad. And I got on Facebook and I started putting all kinds of old photos, because I went around and found them. You know me, genealogist. Went to all my aunts and uncles and collected all the old photos I could and put them on my Facebook to share. I mean, all they had to do is save them. They could put them on their computer, whatever they wanted to do. They were free to do it. Oh, I'm not quite straight there. There, that's good enough. Okay, we fixed it. And I do need a little bit right there. Oh, I got a hair on my... It's trying to fight me. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I got it down. Let's see. Well, it's gone. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Now our quote goes on right down here. Now, great-grandma, she was a hard-working lady. I mean, you can see from her poor little hand, she's young here. I don't think anybody ever knew she was this young. You know, you expect it, but to see it in photos, usually you only see it in the older years, which is, you know, when cameras and stuff like that started really becoming popular. Her oldest daughter, Idabelle, is the one that married the picture taker, and he used one of those old cameras where you throw the cloth up over your head. He used to take the film out and process it out in the creek in the cold water behind the house. Now, I plan on attaching her wings here, so I don't have to do them at this time. Now, what I'm going to do is pull up my little cheapy cheapy cutting board here, which is great. You can see I've already mixed media, a lot of stuff on here. So what we need to do is pour us some gesso over in this jar. Now this jar has a little bit of the re-inker for vintage photo in it, so it's hard to tell. I may get a sepia tone, which I would be perfectly happy with. The other thing I'm worried about is if it's going to affect any of the ink that I've already got on here, because I inked that up with ground espresso as well. All right, let's see if that'll do it. This is clear, so it should dry clear and be clear. I like to think everybody could come to visit. I hope you get to see some. Oh, yeah, it's turning. I hope you get to see something you're interested in or would like to try. Oh, look at that. It did. It turned it. Oh, I might have to try this more often. The only thing is, I don't want it to turn everything. It gives it a nice little shade, though. How neat. Because it was kind of stark as a black and white to me. There we go. Hey. I might not have to add so many of those distress crayons now. Oh, it's getting a little darker as I go down now. Yep, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody is in good health, spirits, good weather. That's one of the main ones nowadays, isn't it? The good weather, because there's been some crazy stuff going on lately. Oh, man, that really turned out. Whoops. Let me try a little bit more up here in this corner. Maybe that'll balance it out a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to get off of here. I'm not so worried about my lines because, there we go. I'm going to get off here and clean this up, and then I'm going to air dry this. Okay, we're done. Clear gesso is great. It's good to give a tooth to a surface, especially if you want to put a color over top of it, but you don't want to take away the color that's already on your piece. And this dried up really nice on the low setting of my heat embossing gun. Actually, I might need to do just a little bit more. Okay, I got that corner dry. That one little bit up here was not quite all the way dry. But other than that, it's looking good. I picked the Isle of Beauty because I thought she was a beautiful woman. She had a very hard life, which in the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. I thought that suited her very well because she had a lot of great children to look back on, having raised decently with a bad husband at first and then a good husband. Yeah, it was also sad because when she moved over, Fred passed away about a year after they moved over here from West Virginia. Um, I went in here and I nipped these edges with this tiny, tiny little curve here. And now what we want to do is put a little color on here. Now this thing is, these are the Distress crayons. And I think I'm going to pull out, I've got a vintage photo. I have a walnut stain. I don't need any of this one, which is, what is that one? Antique linen, because I've got enough yellowy on here. I may go with the black on the very edge if I can get it to work. The thing with the distress spray or distress crayon. I'm sorry. I'm alternating my attention span here. Is you need a little bit of water to dabble them on. So let me make a little puddle right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put us a little, oh look, I don't use a lot of that. Put us a little on the outside edges, sort of. Maybe like down in here. Right there. Kind of work it around the outside edge. And give it a little bit of color. I'm not so sure I even want any down there. And what I usually do is I'll wet my finger and get in here and rub. And it makes that dissolve. Oh, good. I got a little towel here in case I get over rambunctious. But the this clear gesso is really helping with how this is being spread. It's giving it somewhere to rest and grooves to get into. And I'm going to just keep dabbing at it. Now you can keep working at it and keep working at it as much as you want. Like I could go out here and kind of blend that harsh line out. I had wanted these things for ages. And I got them, and I've only used them a couple times. It's horrible. I get something and think, oh, and then, you know, my attention goes elsewhere. I find something else that's more interesting to play with. That's basically what it is. I just want something to play with in my craft room. All right. How does that look? Oh, I got a lot of brown down in here. Let me see if I can get rid of some of that. Okay. Now. There. I think that's good, and I might just try to go around with a little bit darker. I see Tim use these things on his lives all the time. He makes it look so easy. Let's see what that does. I need to get me a few more colors. All mine are right here, so you see what I've got. I've got the neutrals. Ooh, I kind of like that look, where it's against the edge and then fading off. Ooh, I like that. Let me see if I can do that again. Ooh, I don't want that. I think I got too much in this corner. That's the only thing you got to watch. You're not too heavy-handed with it. But, you know, if you are, just keep adding water and it'll disappear. That's the thing with this. It just will disappear. All right. I love this little hat she's got on. All right. I think I'm going to leave that be. Now I'm going to work on this other section, and then we'll be done. Then I got to put her wings on. That'll be interesting. I don't know what it'd do if you left this on here where it's, and these are permanent. After these are dry, these are pretty much permanent. Like the paint, the distress paint, once that stuff is dry, oh, you can't move it. It's on there. I used to do some different techniques of his with that, and they're pretty interesting to use. And somehow when I ordered some, oh, I done lost all of that. I went and ordered salvage patina, about 5 of them. I have no clue how I did that. No clue. But that's all right. All right, I'm trying not to get this too wet. I'm just not doing anything there, am I? Here, I'm going to smear it around and then go wet. How about that? I think that might be the trick. I haven't used these enough to really know what to do. There, that worked. Maybe we'll put us a little bit down here to go with Abraham. And kind of maybe tie our colors together a little better. There. I'm going to wipe that off and it's done. Now I'm going to put her wings on. And I think my best bet with those is to go with fabric tack. Let's go with fabric tack. Now you can actually, if you had all the colors, you could get in here and you could actually colorize this lady. That's how they'll do a lot of those colorized versions of the people paper dolls. They've gotten in here and they'll either use this stuff or the crayons, or they'll use a embossing glaze, which that's interesting to play with too. Now, I can't get it over too far because her hat is there. There, that'll work. Yeah, I don't want to get her hat, and I'm going to trim that little bit off right there. I'm trying to keep as much of that wing as I can. If it wasn't going down in a pocket, I would let it hang out. But it's not. It's going in a real tight pocket. And I have to be wary of where it's at. I can't get my goodie yet to come out. There. And see, this is, it's clear to begin with, and it'll dry clear. So, she almost looks like a butterfly, or a bug woman, in a way. It's kind of neat. All right, and that's going to go down and get dry for me. And I've still got a little bit of wiggle room here. That's the good thing about fabric tack. It doesn't go down immediately. All right, well, that is my tag. Let me get all these out of the way and I'll kind of show you where it's going to go. It's not ready to go in there yet, but it will go close. Okay, my fairy journal. I had this one pocket right here. And see, they're already sporting those wings. But, oh, I forgot to put this little guy down. But it's this pocket right in here. This is one of my Roxy challenges. And I think I just posted this video today. Which this one is going to be probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Today is Friday. So look back and you'll see this video where I did a flip through and I glued a lot of these in. But I really appreciate everybody coming to visit and to see me and see some of my crazy convoluted creations. But that's pretty good. And you can write all over the back of that. And that little bit I'm going to trim off. Well, thank you for coming to visit. Everybody have a great day. Come back and see me again. Bye.